What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Welcome to $122,500 Bitcoin. Some may say we called it. Others may say that it is just about to shine as kind of a Oasis joke. Anyway, very badly received and yeah, pitched pretty poorly as well. So anyway, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back. It is officially Friday. The weekend is here. Now, they generally say you don't want to pump to oblivion on a weekend, but who the hell cares? BTC obviously just doesn't care. I think what's important or what's interesting is that the US certainly opened with a little bit of bearishness, and then it was just like this absolute tidal wave of capital just came dumping into the market. Pre-market's looking bullish. Like we said last night, if you remember, we were talking about this. Pre-market's played out pretty much exactly as we said they would. What's interesting though, and we'll touch on this in a little bit, BTC dominance on the way up. Altcoins, if you're in the wrong ones, you are getting wrecked today. If you're in the right ones, then you are doing pretty well. So we'll touch on kind of some of those altcoins and why they're doing it, etc. And then we'll sort of break down a little bit in the market. We'll sort of try and understand what's going on, etc., etc., etc. Right? Apologies. When I'm really tired, I get really itchy eyes, and I've been rubbing them. And I don't know if you can tell, but I feel a little bit under the weather, which is thanks for the heart, me, Vern. Which is from a 3-day bender, basically. So, yeah, that's kind of my problem right now. But anyway, these are all problems that I can live with right now. As long as the crypto market is going up, not down, then it's fine. So, let's say hello to a few people. Let's get into it. Don't forget, smash up the like button to a brand new all-time high. If you are new here, don't forget, hit the subscribe button. We talk about cryptocurrency every single day, as well as keeping you updated in our Discord channel, etc. And if you're brand new here on TikTok as well, also hit the follow button. We try and keep you as well posted as we possibly can. Thank you, Vern, for all the bees and whatever they are. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And yeah, if you want to support my work here, hit the follow button as well, which should be, once again, greatly appreciated. Man, I look cool, them glasses on, I'm not going to lie. So, welcoming Craig37. I don't know if you are here, but hope all is well, my man. Hope all is well. Don't worry about us. We'll be here when you get everything sorted. But yeah, JFR, good to see you. Craig's in the building. What's going on, Tomato Pete? Beebs, welcome, welcome, welcome. Vern and friends. Cracker Jack's here. What's going on, buddy? CJ the DJ, Kevin Sexton. Swamp is here. Obi Joe. See, I got you this time. Andy, baby. What's going on, buddy? Welcome to you. Kevin Sexton, Nadar F. Joe's here. All the gangs in here. Holmes is here. What's going on? Chadma, 3-day bender. Yeah, I know. It's like a work thing, but it felt like a 3-day stag do. Michael's here as well. And then welcoming everybody here on La TikTok. Appreciate you guys tuning in as always. Like I said, don't forget this follow button, do all that good stuff. Get us moving and grooving here on TikTok, letting people know we are here. So that would be greatly appreciated. Right, let's get into it. And yeah, here we go. Look at this. On the daily, no, it's the 12 hours actually. Okay. This is the 12-hour chart and it's looking bullish. Let's get to 1,000. Let's do it. So here you go. Look at this. Bitcoin coming from the lows here, 109,000 way back when, 28th Sunday, just before I actually broke up for those few days away. This is the 12-hour chart. Everything right now looking super good. Look at this. Short-term EMAs crossing over longer-term EMAs is now starting to print very bullish. I mean, that is an aggressive move, which, hey, look, I'm all for. Look up what's going on, buddy. Viva the Bacon's here as well. Good to see you guys. Welcome in. This is an aggressive move and is showing some real strength in the market. Look at this. We are super bullish right now on the RSI MACD combination indicator and the CT, whatever it was called. What did we call it yesterday? The WTLB. What did we say it was? I can't remember. We said it was called the wave trend. That's it. The wave trend chart as well is also giving us some very bullish signs. So, you know, on the 12-hour chart, we definitely look to be continuing up. Yes, we'll see a little bit of selling off. Yes, we're going to see a little bit of profit taking. Of course, we are at this sort of level. But the reality is that is very much the trajectory right now, with all of these EMA indicators feeling very optimistic. Likewise down here as well. So far, when it comes to Bitcoin, so good. Especially when you look at today. Today was a very good day out there for anyone that was either holding Bitcoin, looking to get into Bitcoin, etc., etc., etc. So pretty good news in fairness. When you look at the daily candles, obviously it prints a very similar picture. And if you remember, I talked about this yesterday. 123.24 was my line that I wanted to see us break. We did break it, but we didn't hold. Therefore, that's why we saw the retracement. It's a pretty aggressive retracement, actually. If you take it down to the 1 hour look, and you go across from like 123,000, which is kind of what we said, yeah, like there. You can see kind of the break and then the retest. We didn't keep the retest, hence why we then saw this big push back. However, when you've got the sentiment that we have right now, which is a widening channel here on both these EMAs, this telling us shorter time frames are actually pushing price higher than the longer time frames, then, you know, that's a pretty good news as well. And, you know, in my opinion, we should be way deployed into the markets. We've been sort of talking about this for a while. Obviously, when everyone was going super bearish, we weren't. We were very much in the kind of positives. And then this, oops, let me just do this. This also is a pretty interesting move. The double bottom scenario playing out absolutely perfect here. If you take the non-wick, essentially, you start to play out a very interesting pick. This is generally seen as a bullish move and actually therefore should see a continuation. I expect us to break this and then expect us to move into new all-time highs. That's what I think is going to happen with BTC. You can see the important bit here, like we said, the EMA is breaking to the upside. Now, worth noting though here, BTC dominance is actually starting to tick back up, and we don't really need to see this. Now, in a short spell, it's fine. Which I think is okay. XCL has done well on the launch, up to 4x. Yeah, there has been a little trace kind of straight back. Yeah, it's at like just under 4 milli, I think, right now, isn't it? Did we get in on the dip? No, I bought in yesterday. I bought in 5 minutes after it launched. So yeah, I've already taken some profits out of it. Nothing crazy, but yeah, I got in 5 minutes after the launch. I didn't do the pre-sale because I was in Spain. But yeah, I was pretty happy with that. Pretty happy in fairness. So yeah, all good. All good. So yeah, so look, BTC dominance just ticking up a little bit. Again, I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world because what you've got is ETH just a little bit behind today. And this is all down to the fact when I show you the ETF numbers, you've got some pretty aggressive buying coming into the ETFs. That's fine. ETH BTC dominance still holding up pretty well as well. So look, we're still trending on some pretty strong EMAs. Not going to stress it too much. And then like we said, in terms of the CME gap, well, turns out that this is, as we speak, a complete load of crap. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's all complete nonsense because I'm sure at some point we will probably tick this, but it probably gets to a point where I don't necessarily believe this validates any sort of move. And, you know, all those people, and I tell you someone else that's been very quiet on crypto Twitter today, no surprise, I don't think. So in my opinion, I actually think this is looking a pretty good setup. I actually think that we do have a little bit in terms of profit taken just to kind of get through, which the weekend may just bring us back down a little bit. You know, we could come and retest maybe 120K. I don't think that would be unusual to do that, especially as we're not going to see kind of the institutional buying that is coming in. Nadal, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but yeah, I mean, what would 1,000 be? 1,000 is going to cost you what? 200 quid? $200, is that right? 1,000 times, no, 2 grand? Depends what you're trying to make out of it. That's what I would say. Depends what you're trying to make out of it. It's referring to the video I did. I think anyway. I think I did 1,000 WLFI tokens. So it's part of that series. Hobbs, if you watch my videos, you'd see what he was talking about. But yeah, anyway, so 122,500. We'll keep an eye on this for tonight. I don't think we're going to see anything super crazy. Obviously, we're going into the weekend. Pre-markets obviously don't make any sense this weekend. We will see. However, Asia has been buying, right? Has been buying, which I think is important to reference. So good news overall, particularly when it comes to BTC, and I think we'll see that. In fact, we've broken this big kind of wedge of volatility, and we're now into low volatility. This is kind of what sets up in terms of price discovery. This, therefore, should print some pretty favorable returns. Now, ETH actually held up pretty well and continuing to push to the upside, perfectly bouncing off that range we talked about. ETH, again, looking like it may even push further to the upside. A little bit of volatility here on ETH. Just watch out. A couple of key levels we want to see break around 4,600 will be the first one. Then I think we're probably going to set off for a retest of maybe 4,800, which I think would be good news, okay? I think that'd be good news. Solana down a little bit. Now, a couple of coins making some moves. BNB, no surprise. And it's kind of interesting, isn't it? Because you've got CZ really pushing the whole sort of BNB vibe, like at the minute, really pushing the BNB vibe, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, looking pretty good. My theory or my hypothesis on Casper is definitely correct, and I am probably going to exit this position over the weekend as I feel like I'm going to miss out on other potential movers given where this is. And I think the fact that it hasn't moved really for a couple of days, and we got a little move yesterday, nothing crazy, but I will probably move to sell all my position in Casper, including I think the community wallet, which is about $700 or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it is. And then maybe reposition it. And we will see kind of how that plays out. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to do with that. Aerodrome at 1.16. I don't think this is a surprise, by the way. API has dropped a little bit, but I think this will come back. And then a couple of coins just to call out. I think World of It Financial is giving people another opportunity with what they've got building. Again, holding this lower support range. Look out for this. Look out for this break, I think, on here. That's my opinion. But in some other news, Injective had a little bit of a move. Asta now starting to break back above this key range again that we've sort of been talking about. So Asta now finally starting to move on the back of CZ kind of getting pretty excited and all the rest of it. Zebek continues its rally. Nothing going on in the meme space. But traditional markets, what do we get? Another rally in terms of the treasuries, which is kind of why we're seeing a little bit of an offset into the crypto market, but nothing too crazy. That is where we are. So I guess, where would I summarize the charts today? Pretty bullish for Bitcoin. I don't necessarily think it's bullish as a overall market. You can sort of see how that's playing out. Look, overall market 1% up, driven hugely by Bitcoin. 0.53 is the total minus Bitcoin. So you'd argue the altcoin market is sort of lagging behind a little bit. It's still bullish, still lagging a little bit behind. Then you get into kind of the others, which is everything outside of the top 10. Is actually bearish today. So this means that a lot of capital is flowing into big caps, which you could argue and say, well, maybe because of how this is structured and how this market is sort of set, then you would argue and say, well, maybe the fact is we are not as deep into the bull market as maybe people think. Maybe there's actually way more to come in this market, which, you know, you start to get into this sort of back and forth and is it, isn't it kind of thing. It's all going to be a little bit interesting. But if you just play out what we've always talked about here, and more importantly, kind of, hold on a minute, what am I doing here? More importantly, what we've sort of discussed, really, then you could argue and say maybe we aren't as deep into the bull market as I think a lot of people would say. I'm not a lot of people, though. I'm still in a world where I think we finish by 2025. I'm just giving you a good perspective, should we say, a balanced perspective, I think, as opposed to a one-sided. That's what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? Trying to be balanced, trying to be, what's the words? I'm trying to find something to show you and I can't find it. It's been super annoying. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I'll have to look at it here. Oh my God, where is it? I can't find it. I'm not going to sit here and look for it for the next, like, fucking 2 hours. I can't believe it's not coming up. Maybe this is what I need. Man. How is this not... oh, my God. I just give up. Oh, I got it. Finally. Jesus. That took way too long to find. Way too long to find. Okay, so here's my point that I want to sort of reference. You could argue and say a lot of people believe we're going into phase 3. You know, people are like, hey, this is where we are. It's all about phase 3, blah, 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 blah. You could, you know, maybe say, well, actually, are we fully in phase 3 yet? That's the question. Could we be in phase 2? Could we even be in phase 1? I mean, that's for you to decide. And I'm sure we'll all get to our own hypotheses. However, pretty interesting, all right? Pretty interesting if you ask me. So anyway, that is where the overall market sits. What does it look like on some very interesting charts? Well, it is officially October, baby. Let's get it. Disney Pixar's October. Love it. All right. What's going on, Bits Blaze? Good to see you, man. And yeah, maybe we could put some of TG Hey Ed community funds into the Rabbit token coming out soon. I mean, that's true. We could definitely do that, I think. Here's the backtrack. No. You are wrong, my friend. You are wrong. I'm not backtracking on anything. I am giving a balanced, broad view of the market as opposed to pushing my narrative, by the way. That's very much no. I'm very much not backtracking. XL moving these last couple of days. Yeah, XL looks pretty good as well. So, yeah, I may have another one coming up soon, actually. Not an XL one, but I'm starting to work with another project that, yeah, well, in fact, another 2 projects, which could be pretty bullish. So make sure you follow him. Make sure you're subscribed. It's all going to be starting to play out pretty bullishly. Okay, so yeah, pretty good news. October. Okay. Also, yet again, we saw some pretty interesting movements going on in Bitcoin and Ethereum. In fact, BlackRock buying $168 million worth of Ethereum. This obviously plays out as we saw exchanges buying even more, ETF inflows, etc., all starting to go pretty crazy, which is an interesting line when you look at this. Bitcoin flipped an 8-year resistance into support. Now, we actually did flip this a couple of days ago at around that 114K, but you could argue right now this 8-year resistance all the way back from 2018. Is this, true? Is this, meaning that we're going to go way, way higher? We will see. It feels like the upper limits are in there. But the golden bull run, it has officially started in October. BTC will hit new all-time highs and altcoins will finally skyrocket 100 to 200x. Today's your last chance to get in. Turn $50 into 50K. I mean, that's a pretty bold statement as well. I don't know if that's actually true, if you're not just going to trade some, like, complete degenerate meme coins. However, you'd argue it's sort of playing out as we anticipated, I think. And I guess as a lot of us discussed, Dr. Zbit. Get out of here, Curtis. Conservative. Yeah, maybe. Balanced view because easy escape when you're wrong. You know me too well. I've been watching too many politics shows. Just an opinion, if you haven't made any money by now, you may struggle in the end. I mean, that's true. You have to kind of increase your risk as the cycle goes on, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, I think we've still got way more ammunition in the barrel to keep rocking and rolling in this bull market cycle. Just my opinion, all right? So again, I could be wrong, but maybe not. So anyway, that's how this plays out. And then Tide of Crypto here giving us a view saying Bitcoin new all-time high is loading. BTC heading towards the inverse head and shoulders target once again. Again, we spoke about this previously. So we had the breakout, the retest, which came back down, and then boom, off we go, potentially to a new all-time high. I guess we'll have to see how the weekend plays out, really. I mean, if the weekend, comes in favorably, then happy days. If it doesn't, then yeah, it might be a little bit stally as we come out of the weekend. We'll have to wait and see. All of this, by the way, and you could speculate and you could say, well, certain things haven't come out today, which should be true. The fact the US September non-farm payrolls report was not released due to the government shutdown isn't generally a good news story. I actually talked about this in my update video, if you didn't see that earlier on, as to why the government shutdown is A, could be good for the markets, but B, we do need to be mindful when it reopens again, because all this sort of stuff's going to come through. But yeah, US September non-farm payroll jobs was not released. Remember, this was not good when it came to jobs, to the so much so that Trump was a bit like, oh yeah, forget it, it's fine, it's just a load of crap. And then it's like, oh, actually, we're not going to do the September release. But it's fine, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, all right, crack on. What's going on, Crypto Princess? Good to see you. Is Dr. Profit legit? Look, I mean, a clock's right twice a day, isn't it? That's my opinion. Here's where I get to with a bit of logic, right? If you were so accurate, you would surely only ever need to do one bull market. Like, surely you only have to do one bull market. It's why I don't believe James Wynn is actually a full-on trader. That guy made apparently $100 million, lost it all. There's no way on this earth. If I made $5 million, there's just no way I'd be going, oh, I'm going to go super bullish on the market and lose 100 million. My opinion on all these type of people is, again, a clock is right twice a day. So you could be like, oh, well, like you could be saying right now, oh, well, I think short in BTC is probably a good idea. I would be building shorts right now, shorts. At some point, they will play out to be true. And I would argue that if you're going to look at some of these traders that have been telling you that September was going to be rubbish, they were wrong. October is going to not be happening, and we're going to end up to... I guarantee all of them have either flipped, delete the post, or will eventually come back around and be like, no. I didn't say that like it was over. I just said that I thought it was going to be a bit bearish, and then Bitcoin will dump like 100 to like 120k retest, and they'll be like, here it is. Here's the market dump. Told you. That's the point, isn't it? Like, clocks can be right twice a day, even a wrong clock, even a clock with no batteries. Good. Is Trump on holiday? I don't think so. I mean, he hasn't texted me, so, he wasn't in Spain when I was in there the last 4 days, so I don't know, to be honest, but anyway, right, so, let's talk a little bit about the news, and then we'll get into anything you guys want to talk about, anything you want to look at. So, Bitcoin rise against the odds, Fed insights and analyst forecast, what could we expect? Well, the Fed rate decision, by the way, is all in our favor, coming late October. Predictions are now solidly on the 99%, and I think the only other bit is like, well, we might get a double rate cut. So 94.6% is basically saying, yep, we're going to see another rate cut in October. This is going to be good news. We do want to see the money printers go on, though. That is kind of where we want to get to. The 29th of October is obviously where we get to the next rate cut. So we have about 26 days. And then likewise, expectation would be another rate cut, which I actually think, just my opinion, by the way, I think this could end up being a double rate cut. And I think it will depend on jobs. I think it will depend on jobless claims, economy, yada, yada, yada. I actually think this could end up being a double rate cut. We'll see. If you remember last year, they cut prior to, I think they cut in September and December. I think. I can't remember. Someone will quote me and correct me, I'm sure. But yeah, I think this could end up being a double rate cut. Not the minute, still pricing in for 1, which gives us 3 rate cuts by the end of the year. But again, when you start talking about some of the geopolitical stuff, Alvin, what's going on, pal? Then, yeah, could be interesting. And more importantly, obviously, the discussion around tariffs remains limited so far. So they can only push this narrative for so long, and this whole kind of like, oh, tariffs are going to be bad. It's going to be rubbish, especially if Trump were to come out and say, we're going to send $2,000 out to every single American because of tariff revenue. I mean, you would just have an economy that's like, yep, let's keep spending. And actually, consumer spending is holding strong. You know, you want people to spend in economies to push markets. You don't want people to not spend. It's kind of counterintuitive to a degree, but and inflation isn't a million miles away from 2%. It's not there yet, but it's not a million miles away. So, you know, all this could play out very, very favorably. And like I said, a couple of key indicators, we touched on these charts, but certainly showing that the push from 120, which is why I think we could get a retest of 120K, just because it's such an important line. But again, playing out as we see it. We did actually get the PMI report today. I don't know if you guys saw or if you guys looked at it. So PMI, obviously we've talked about this previously. The services PMI. Now, if you remember when we talked about PCE last time, we talked about GDP growth. Remember 3.8 revised up from 3.3. Services was a big sector that was growing. It was obviously they do the ISM and they do the PMI. Manufacturing was declining. Services was increasing. Well, services just took a little bit of a cool off. The US September ISM services PMI fell from 50 to 50 from 52, with an estimation of 51.7. So a little bit under where people expected. Therefore, the services industry, if you like, is shrinking. Now, if you think about that, that's probably the easiest economy to kind of get moving. Think about the pandemic. What was the first thing they opened? Certainly here in the UK, they did a stimulus to try and make you go out and eat dinner. This is kind of one of the things to keep an eye out. We saw the ISM services prices paid index did actually rise. So this kind of offsets a little bit. And also, we know that companies with more than 500 workers actually are holding on. So we actually saw wage growth, I think it was 4.3% or something like that, which means that people who stay in jobs longer are actually getting more money. So that's kind of why you're not getting an economy that's rolling over at the minute. This is kind of good news. So although this came in a little bit less than I think what people thought, then the reality is I don't actually think it's the worst thing, right? I don't think it's the worst thing. I wonder when they consider jobs information, they consider government held positions and whether they will be including any government job losses during the shutdown. So they're furloughed, so they're not job losses. So they furlough the government, so they won't be deemed as losses. So yeah, that's why it's different. So they did do it you can see it spike in election years. You can see it spike pandemic. But yeah, as of right now, all that happens, because it's basically, think about this. It's the military that go in. So they're not going to just sack everyone in the military and then be like, oh, China, like we've got no military because no one's getting paid. So they just furlough them. Yeah, they just furlough them. What's going on, Jesse? Late again. I'm kidding. But yeah, good to see you, buddy. Welcome in. Don't forget, everybody, hit the like button. Tap that screen if you're on TikTok. It does help us out. Again, if you've got any questions, let me know. Drop them in the comments. In-laws another cowboy hat when they look at the screen again. Sorry, mate. I'm sorry, Alvin. I was too busy looking at the ISM. What's going on, Calamari? Good to see you, man. Dude, you missed the cowboy hat. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I can see it there right now. It's because nothing comes up on my screen. So make sure I'm looking at the screen, Alvin. Hey, there we go. Lots of people do like a weird little sound to it. But yeah, anyway. Hit the likes. So that's kind of what came in on PMI. And this, therefore, could start to push BTC way, way higher. Again, if you start to get a bit of stimulus in the economy, people start spending more money, this is obviously going to be good news. And hopefully, I don't want to go and co-host with you. Thank you so very much. Hopefully, we'll sort of continuation of October, which will be good news. Now, Samsung and Coinbase are unlocking crypto trading for 75 million Galaxy users. Oh, what? Could be an indication the top's coming in. Exciting partner with Samsung to make crypto more accessible, offering 75 million Samsung Galaxy users in the US free access to Coinbase One to bring them on board. Fully integrated Samsung Pay, and every Coinbase user in the US can now use it to buy crypto. Go Coinbase, right? Go Coinbase. Andy Box, what's going on, buddy? Man, you've got to have the patience of a consent when you have kids. Yeah, tell me about it. Although mine are all right. They're 3 this week and the twins. Can you believe that? Hey, I'm an official Sam user partner. I've seen this on my messages. Hey, Alvin. Love it. So yeah, Galaxy users, by the way, 75 million. That's a pretty big number, isn't it? People all starting to come in. This isn't all, by the way. Look at this. Walmart is now back in fintech. OnePay to launch a crypto trading and custody service. Like, these are big deals. And these are the sort of things that people sort of pass by as like, oh, okay, cool. Coinbase are integrating with Samsung. Walmart's getting into the market. These are all kind of like, getting pretty getting pretty tasty. Fintech firm OnePay, with the majority owned by Walmart, is reportedly set to expand its services by introducing cryptocurrency trading and custody on its mobile application. Do you know why? It affords them 24-hour trading. That's why they're super bullish on it. And it could give us new people into the market. I'm all for it, which I think would be good news as well. So yeah, 4 weeks until I get punished by my second child entering the world. Oh, really? Oh, mate, I can guarantee that won't be happening again to me. Nope. Thank you very much. Mara Digital, by the way, company now with the second largest Bitcoin treasury, announced an addition of BTC to its portfolio, buying another 373 Bitcoin to its portfolio in September, bringing its now total assets to 52,850 Bitcoin. So they continued to buy. And this one I thought was super interesting. I mean, what are your thoughts on this? Look at this. Trump real estate empire could go on-chain under World Liberty Financial. This is why I am pretty bullish on where World Liberty Financial is going to go. Not only is Witkoff planning blockchain access to Trump Tower Dubai and other landmark properties, but we also know that there is credit cards coming by the end of the year. That was announced by Steve Witkoff as well. And the fact of the matter is that, well, World Liberty Financial, with its lending protocol, everything else, I think it's going to do some pretty big numbers. I think people don't trust it at the minute. Therefore, I think it's giving a definite opportunity, in my view, by the way, to maybe grab a little bit more, which I may do. I'm undecided yet. We'll see. We'll see. But this, I think, is a pretty big deal and probably brings the two big parts of the Trump empire, which I think now is like $5 billion in cryptocurrency, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, anyway, good news if you ask me, and I think this could play out pretty favorably all in all. And then doubling down, look at this. ETFs inflows are going wild again. They're buying more Bitcoin than ever. $627 million yesterday, $675 the day before. So far this week, we're at nearly $2 freaking billion of inflows into ETFs. That is a pretty big number with demand, by the way. Remember, we talked about this. This is actually the demand number as opposed to it being the specific number they bought. Nearly 4,000 Bitcoin. So you could argue right now, there is a demand like never before for ETFs. I mean, that's fucking crazy if you think about it. Like, what's going on, D? That is absolutely crazy. And the same could be said for Ethereum. Look at this. Look at the green. Look at the, absolutely big, some pretty big numbers coming in here. Where's the ETH ones? If you ask me, and I think this all plays out pretty favorably if you ask me. So look at this. We see another 300 million voted into Ethereum ETFs, and once again, with some significant purchasing power today. 63,000 Ethereum being bought by iShares. And if you were curious, and I know that most of you are, Solana ETFs, not doing the crazy numbers, but still a little bit, 13 million the other day. Rex Osprey starting to build up. We'll see when that XRP ETF goes on. It's not on yet, but it's doing some pretty decent numbers. More and more are coming to the party as well. So, all in all, it's a pretty good news, pretty good day. Market's looking super bullish. So we're all down for it if you ask me. And then, we're starting to see a little bit move in DeFi, which is nice. Always good when the community gets in on a coin that's doing very, very well. XCL was doing very, very well, actually. So that has turned out to be a pretty bullish play all in all. We talked about that on the channel. Also, we talked about Grippy on the channel. That broke a new all-time high today as well. So if you got into any of those players, congratulations and enjoy the gains. So yeah, XCL, look, just under 4 million right now, 4107, broke a new all-time high, looking pretty good. Again, 821k in volume. Grippy broke 4.59 milli. We called this in the premium Discord group at 700k. If you did get into this one, congratulations. That's about a 7x, I think, something like that you guys will have printed. So well done. If you are interested, by the way, come to channel member and you get instant access to our premium Discord where you get coin alerts as well as trade signals and much, much more. Also, the bot that's in there that will support you in terms of technical analysis and much, much more. It's going to cost you about $8 a month. If you did and you were part of that and you got into this, well, you already made your money back. So pretty straightforward if you ask me. If you are interested, then yeah, let me know. Also, you can subscribe here on TikTok as well and get into that Discord. Just yeah, enjoy. Good. Right, XVG. Let's take a look at XVG. I feel like this is not doing too great. Oh no, this is not the one I thought it was. Not the one I thought it was. It is currently at $1.3 million market cap. It feels like it's been out forever, though. I mean, I'll just call a spade. You know me. The chart looks awful. It's all right. It's at a pump. That's fine. It's doing 12K in volume. Not for me. I think there's way better opportunities out there, by the way. But yeah, XVG. Look, if you bought the dip, if you bought the bottom, cool. If you didn't, don't know about that. Don't know about that. Anyway, don't forget to hit the like button and also hit the subscribe button if you're brand new to the channel. We appreciate you tuning in. Poor man is the building. What's going on, poor man? Gotta go feed the critters that feed me. Have an awesome investment day. Daniel, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. What's this? Direxion has filed for a 3x products. Oh, we've got some breaking news coming in. Some ETF news coming. Ooh. I mean, you're not going to get any listed ETFs, at least for another, well, at least for another couple of weeks. They had another vote, didn't they? That didn't get passed. So yeah, let's see. James Sephra. Okay, here we go. What's this? New filings. The finance ETFs just filed for the shy of a 30x leverage ETF, single stock. Some other ETFs are crypto ETPs. Things are getting wild. ETH ETF, BTC, Solana, gold. Anything crazy in there? Robinhood, Amazon, Google. Yeah, there's some BTC ones in there. Look, 3x leverage. Nothing super crazy though. Nothing crazy. Not like a, XDC ETF or something wild, but still pretty good news. I will have a chat with Cracker later. He was chatting nonsense about things like Grippy, Shib, Pepe, World of It Financial being dead. Oh, really? I mean, Grippy's definitely not dead. It depends. It's one of those things, isn't it? Some people like meme coins, some people don't. I mean, it is what it is. Would I say that they are easily dead? Of course they are. Like, memes can roll over really quickly. But again, Grippy's up 100% today. That's definitely not dead. And I think it's doing like, I don't know what it's doing on volume, but yeah, that is definitely not dead, as is neither is XCL. You could argue maybe Marbits is a little bit dead. I mean, that's just a fair comment to say, isn't it? I'm not going to beat around the bush and be like, it's done $20 in volume. That's, probably not great, I would argue. But, when you start to get into sort of big cap memes, even those aren't really moving. It feels a little bit like, utility coins are in. If you look at Astra, an example, that's doing 14%. Pepe's down 0.69. It's all about timing the market. It's all about what's going on, really. Again, you either, in my opinion, you are comfortable with risk or you're not. And, you can always go into it. But I know Crackerjack's been into some memes, definitely. I think it just depends where you are in the market cycle and where you are in terms of, if you've made 20 grand over the last, let's say, month, are you going to really go and dump 25% of that into a meme coin? I don't know if that's a sensible idea. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Kevin says, BTC at all-time high now? No. 124,000. Yeah, like 124. To say safe, I think it's like 124,300, I think, is new all-time high. Expected a pullback shakeout. I mean, look, I think a 120 retest wouldn't be out of the realms of possibility. I think the weekend will. Here's my view, by the way. I think if we close above 122,000 today, then yeah, I think we're probably in a decent place. I think if we close below that, because 122, you've gone from 124. We've had a bit of a sell off here down to 122. Markets feel like it's holding up all right. So I think lower than 122 maybe starts to get, maybe starts to just give a little bit more potential to sell off. I mean, if you take where we've been sort of tracking some of this move, by the way, which was there, I think, when we started talking about kind of, no, it can't be there. It must be there. We started talking about this. If you look at that, so 127.23 would be the retest of the 786 Fibonacci. That isn't unusual. I don't think that would be out of the realms of possibility. You can see here, look, we got rejected the first move up, then pushed through with some strong volume. So, you could definitely see a retest of 120. Definitely see a retest of that. So yeah, we'll see. We will see. Had to go back on subs and discords. Got overwhelmed. All good, poor man. We appreciate you, buddy. Mouse Sports says BTC. Yeah, well, we're just talking about where we could see a potential retracement. And, if you go on the hourly chart, it sort of plays in a little bit more interesting. Look at this. The 5.8, excuse me. Let me just do this. I hate it when I do this. Such a noob move, right? Let me just make it a bit smaller. There we go. So we're actually like next to it. That makes more sense. Okay. So if we go on the hourly chart, the 786 Fibonacci, look at how look at how like close this was on the 786. There was the retest rejection, retest break. So this is why I'm saying I don't think it would be unusual for us to come back down and retest 120,700 as an example. I don't think that would be, I don't think that would be super crazy. So we'll see. We'll see. Kansu, what's going on? Welcome in. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget, if you've got any questions, any coins, any thoughts, any opinions, let me know. Super quiet night on TikTok. I don't know where everyone is. Like, we haven't had more than about 13 people in the live. Pretty wild, in fairness. So I don't know what. Everyone's just chilling out. Everyone's like, oh my God, the market's super cool. It's so weird. I'm just absolutely like fully max sending it. But yeah, anyway, so I think we could see this retest. I think equally, by the way, holding 122 is kind of what we said here. Look, so if we go in a little bit nearer at 122, which is here, thereabouts, this starts to play out a pretty obvious picture as well. So 2 lines to think about. 122 break, probably expect 120, probably hit the 20-day EMA, followed by probably a pushback to the upside, is my opinion. The weekend, though, as we know, can be interesting, can't it? The weekends can play very, very differently. If you think last weekend, we were pretty flat. Saturday, we had a good Sunday, big move on Sunday. Previous weekend, we were flat on the Saturday, dumped on the Sunday. Previous weekend to that, we had a flat Saturday, dump a little bit. Previous weekend to that, dump Saturday. So historically, 4 out of the last 5, we've actually seen a dump on the Saturday. So, we'll see. But I think the market feels okay. In my opinion, the party is here on YouTube. Yeah, it feels like it. Feeling yuck saying that word. What's that? Ethereum closed to 0. I don't know what that means. Who wins this bull run, XRP or H-bar? That's a good question. Went on to $10. 3 weeks on Tuesday, I believe. I would say, who wins, XRP or H-bar? I feel like XRP is probably a slightly better bet, albeit I think it's all going to come down to the ISO 222. I think both will do very, very well, yeah. But yeah, I think XRP is what I would back, given what's coming versus what H-bar I've got. The whole banking sector, the whole integration, ETFs, yes. We've got some H-bar ETFs coming. I think Canary Capital have got one, but XRP ETFs could be pretty crazy. If you look at the Rex Osprey ETF, where do we put that one? Here, look. It's not got the craziest volume in the world, but it is starting to move up. Again, it's not far from launch price. $26 gets us above launch price. Like I said, not the craziest mover, but certainly starting to show a little bit of strength, as did, if you remember, Hashdex launched that Brazilian one as well, which sort of played out pretty favorably. So, dual poll, H-bar, starter poll. Which one wins? XRP, H-bar. That poll. Right, I'm going to do it for you guys on TikTok as well. So here we go. Look. Hold on a minute. This one. Poll. Quick poll. So smiley face, XRP, sad face, H-bar. Go. Let's see what you guys think. So glad about the dip over the last 2 weeks. I mean, that's true, Foz. 13K buy an XCL. Wow. Bosh. Look at that. That's a big old mover. Holy crap. Bullish. It's always nice when projects absolutely skyrocket. So yeah, if you got into this one, what was the pre-sale price at, by the way? Just, I'm curious. Yeah, that is a big old buy. They've bought 35 grand's worth of XCL. Man, they are super, super bullish on this coin. So yeah, shout out to anyone that's in this. I expect a little bit of selling coming in. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, what was the pre-sale price was 0.001. Okay, well, that's all right. That's kind of really what, is that what it was? Right, okay. Do you think alts will surpass their 2024 peaks? Yes, I do. I do actually think altcoins will make a bigger move than what we've got now. Calamari 001 as well. Right, TikTok voted for, man, XRP. Only 3 of you voted. Come on, guys. It's not that difficult, is it? Interact with me here. Do you know what I mean? Interesting. That's Austin. Well, Austin just dumped 13 grand into it, did he? Fair play. 2-bit, do you have a favorite narrative for this cycle? Ones that make money. Not really. I think you can get confused when you push narratives. So look, timing narratives is different. I think, I still think memes have another run. I think AI's got a big run to come yet. Just all got a bit quiet. I think we're in a utility phase right now. So coins that come out with a purpose, I think have got, are going to do pretty well. And I think, I think at the minute, big caps are doing pretty well as well. So, we'll see. Will the Hawk Tour coin recover? I don't think so. I don't think so, mate. I think that one is donezo. XCL to $1. Let's hope so, baby. I'm down for it. That'd be that'd be a big old move. That would be a big old move. I kind of, I'm not too asked about them bringing an exchange or anything out. I'd kind of like them to see, I'd kind of like to see some sort of big utility or something come out. That'd be kind of nice. AVAX news, mate. AVAX doing what AVAX do, which has been really frustrating, which is have loads of good stuff, loads of partnerships, loads of really bullish news coming out, but then don't seem to convert into absolute insane price moving. Disappointing amount of votes. How many have we got? 24 votes. God, Jesus Christ, you guys are terrible sometimes. But yeah, gold badge. Avalanche team or whatever it is, 600 community rewards, on-chain ticketing for first Copa America. AVAX has got some crazy shit going on. Just no one cares. But they will. AVAX, I think, is one of those that you'll wake up one morning and you'll be like, holy shit, AVAX has done 40% in 3 days. And people are going to be like, oh, I can't believe I missed AVAX. 2bit, why didn't you tell us to get into AVAX? A bit like when Algorand pumped. Everyone was like, oh man, didn't see that coming. I've been talking about Algorand for about a month beforehand. We have had 69 views all stream. Bullish on 69. But yeah, I do think AVAX has got, if you sort of go down what we track, I think AVAX has definitely got some good news coming. I think Sui's going to do some bigger moves. Yeah, I think BNB is going to be good. Aerodrome, I still think will do very, very well. They just need to sort their staking rewards out. Staking's crap. World of It Finance, you all know my thoughts on that. There is a couple that are disappointing though. Fetch AI, disappointing still. Dupe, disappointing, I think is fair to say. And then, we'll have to kind of wait and see how some of these others play out. I think Asta's going to do some big, big moves. Flare's been dumping pretty aggressively, hasn't it? You've been tracking that. As Flare mint more FXRP, it seems to dump more, which could show it as an opportunity. I actually put it in one of my coins for October. It's down 4%, only 3.9 on the week, but, it's 2 cents for maybe an opportunity, especially when they get this whole XRP, FXRP staking. I think it's 8 to 10%. When people start to use that and it becomes a viable, platform, I think you'll start to see some pretty crazy stuff going on. Okay, cool. Right. Have we just got some more breaking news coming in? Let me just have a look. James Sefiat, you've just posted something. Boom. What's this? Granite shares filed 23 weekly pay leverage, single stock ETF, sells puts for premium income and leverage. Okay, no one cares about that. No one cares about that, James. No one cares. All right. Can you please analyze Asta long-term targets for this season? Thanks. Difficult to analyze Asta on a long-term basis because it hasn't been out long enough. What I would say is when it comes to Asta, you have to kind of just take it for what it is. It's a perpetual trading DEX, which I think this is why I bought some. I DCA'd. So I bought some at $2 something or other. I can't remember. So I bought here, sold here. And then I think I bought here somewhere. I think I missed this dip. Bought here and I was like, and it's dumped. And I just bought here. I was just yep, just, and I managed to get my DCA price down to 191 or something crazy like that. But if you are like me in the UK as an example, and the UK government is demanding that exchanges send data across to the HMRC and basically tell them what your unrealized gains is. This is where I think something like Asta, AVNT are going to do very, very well because people are going to look to still trade. People are going to go maximize their potential. They're going to look for decentralized trading platforms. This is where I think Asta and many others are going to come into their absolute own. If I'm a UK-based customer, why would I go and trade on an exchange when all of that exchange unrealized gains data is sent to HMRC when I could go and trade on a decentralized platform? Obviously, look, I'm not saying you should avoid paying taxes. I'm actually saying the opposite. I actually got my tax return through the other day and it said they owe me $40. Well, it's actually 40 quid, which is fucking great. It's $55. Be buying more penguin coins with that. But yeah, good news. Always pay taxes. But this is where I think that something like Asta will have good. So if you were to do that on the short term, by the way, then you would argue that currently Asta is looking pretty optimistic. If you fibbed it from the all-time high to the kind of low trade, you'd argue we broke recent support, the 61819, looking to retest 219. That's what you're looking for. You may come back down, retest $2, but CZ is like super bullish on this as well, which I think is, you know, it's going to help. I think he came out and said that he's not allowed to run Binance for obvious reasons, albeit I feel like that got quashed, didn't it? But, you know, you look at this post as an example, BN-Tober, AS-Tober, and BIT-Tober. You know, he's pretty bullish on Aster. And if you got, you know, it could be like CZ's big thing. All it takes is CZ to come out and say he's announcing that he's officially the CEO or is a, you know, investment partner into Aster, and yeah, away we go. Away we go. So worthwhile noting, I think, and that's why you're going to see these. But, you know, difficult to predict long-term viability at this moment. I think, though, man, Bitcoin is pumping right now. Holy crap, look at this. Retest to 123 inbound. Let's go, baby. Who's buying? Tim, is this you? Tim just bought like $12 million worth of Bitcoin. Go on, Tim. Go on, Tim. Fair play, Mike. That's unusual. Very rare that they'll tell people that they own them. That's why I advise people that you do a claim at least once every 5 years. Yeah, honestly, I've had it twice now. I've had 2 tax rebates. One was like 10 years ago, and it was like 500 quid. And then, yeah, I literally got one, because you never want to get a letter from the tax agency, because you got to look at it, and it says on the back, HMRC, and you're like, and it said, you have paid your tax. I'm like, yes, good news. I'll take that 40 quid. Really appreciate your analysis, Asta. So can we consider reaching out $5 to $10 or even higher? Yeah, I think so. I think it could end up being as crazy as this is gonna kind of be a wild statement, and I need people to understand the context of this statement. But if Asta becomes the premier trading perps decentralized platform, then the sky's the limit, in my opinion. It's backed by Binance. You know, I think it could do very, very well. That's why, look, I'm in, and I am hopeful that it will do very, very well. In fact, I missed out on BNB, by the way. I saw Binance IPO at like $7, and I didn't buy it because I thought it was a scam. Yeah, so that's my view. CZ has 64% of the BNB supply, yeah. And they burn it as well. I mean, he's not going to dump it. He doesn't need to, is he? XRP for the win, yeah. I love it. Love it. What's going on, Akira Labs? Good to see you. Welcome in. Believe in something. SPX 1600. I think that's been doing pretty well, hasn't it? When are some of the ETFs deadline? We're 18th. Yeah, I did a video yesterday. It lists all the ETFs and their deadlines. I think they run, it's like 18th, 19th, 20th, 25th, 26th, 12th of November, something like that. So yeah, but I did a video yesterday. Go and watch it. Worth it. Are you holding some Casper? Yes. Wiki, I am holding Casper. I said at the very start of this show, and I said this yesterday, I probably will exit that position this weekend. Only because, not that I don't think Casper's going to do okay, but I feel like my capital that's in Casper, can be better used somewhere else. And you've got to be brave in these markets. No point just holding onto a coin because someone said it was going to do something. I'm not invested enough of it. I don't keep up to date with what's going on with it. I'm blindly holding this coin. So I am probably going to exit that position this week. And if the market continues to push up, then that'll feel a bit better to kind of leave that position. But, you know, if I think of like, will there be financial, I think that's probably got a bigger move potentially. And some people disagree with me and say the tech is way better and all the rest of it. Well, that's fine. You know, it's my money. I'm going to do what I want with it. But yeah, so I am, but I'm probably going to come out of that position, I think, this weekend. Did you give signals to the coins for us to buy and keep? So I have a premium Discord in which you can get it by subscribing here on TikTok or becoming a YouTube channel member, in which we talk about coins, we talk about new launches, we talk about trade setups. All of that is in there. It's still very, very early. But yeah, I also put out a video of altcoins to buy in October, and I also live stream 6 days a week and keep you guys posted on exactly what I'm doing in my position. So you could argue, yeah. I mean, the last one we called did like a 3x from launch. We did one that's, well, I mean, Grippy's done what, 7x from launch. XCL we've called, that's done a 5x from launch. Look, I'm not going to say we are, you know, 100% on all of them. But I mean, so far the people I think in the Discord have been pretty happy with the Discord. So yeah. Do you think Jasmine is still worth holding? Minus 32% of the year. So Jasmine's an interesting one, isn't it? Jasmine's an interesting one, and I could be blindly holding Jasmine as well. Now, I'm down on Jasmine a little bit, albeit I'm up overall, if that makes sense. I think Jasmine solves a real-world problem. I just think enough people don't know about it, and I was always hoping with the Junction integration and the Ethereum Layer 1 integration that it was actually going to do something. But, you know, difficult one. Is it possible for me to buy a coin with $1? Yes, it is definitely possible for you to buy a coin with $1. Are you going to see life-changing games for $1? No. All right. Not at all. My advice, by the way, for anyone who's like, and I don't want to sound rude here, right? But let's say people on a restricted budget. Okay, let's call it that. That feels like a fair statement. You need to get yourself on crypto Twitter. You need to get into giveaways. You need to get into spaces. You need to work hard and try and either win some money. Like cryptocurrency give away more money than anything else. Try and win some money. Try and do anything. Get an airdrop. Whatever. $1 is $1, right? I'm not going to belittle $1, but I mean, you ain't going to make much with $1. Let's just call a spade a spade. But you can take that $1 and you can go and try and get into some, groups, get into a Discord, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's my view. Can you also please help analyze Pyth? Similar to how you did with Asta with Pyth, ever be back above $1? Okay. Yeah, one second. I just want to show everyone something though. Just FYI, everybody. I don't know if you saw this, by the way. Wrecked Rabbit. Go check out wreckedrabbit.com. The time has come, and we are on countdown. Are you ready? Question mark. And I don't know if you've noticed, the account is now verified. So, I think it'd be definitely worth following the Wrecked Rabbit ETH X account. And if you're interested, check out wreckedrabbit.com. All right? I think it's worth following. Just saying. Just saying. Also, don't forget you can follow me as well. That's worthwhile. That's worthwhile for everybody. Right. Pyth. Do we have Pyth on here? I feel like we did. Atheist holding up pretty well, actually. Yeah, I thought we'd get a bit more of a move out of that, but yeah. Pyth, here we go. Where will Pyth go? Now, again, this is another one of those ecosystems I don't know a load about. I think we got it in as on the investment group. So the first thing you need to understand here is this. So what you've got here is absolutely a downward trend where we struggle to break this support. So Pyth, in my opinion, by the way, will do nothing until it breaks this support line. Now, you could argue it's in an upward trend right now, which could then bring it to maybe retest here somewhere if the market comes with us. If not, I think it's just going to keep going down. So it has to break this trend line. I'd be looking for a break above maybe 19 cents. It's failed before at 25. It's going to, you're probably looking at 19 cents. A break above 19 cents, maybe, but it has to get a move on. But this chart is definitely not that great. If you ask me, definitely in a downward trend here on the weekly. Now, the daily may play a different panel. Oh, no, the daily is exactly the same. Look at that. Look at that. Exactly the same. Perfectly retesting this range. And actually here, look, it retested twice and still didn't break it. So I would say Pyth would be a gamble based on the technical data. That's what I would say. Craig, didn't you do a dollar trade the other day? Did you do a dollar trade, Craig? It's wild. It's bullish, though. Right, BTC trying a little breakout right now, so we'll stick with it just for the short term. With $1, you would need to get into a project that is launching, maybe something with 20 zeros in front of it, and then you have to pray and hope. Yeah, I mean, I would argue if you're just going to try and take $1, you're probably going to lose $1 pretty quick. SPX is under very easy, I think, is the new Dogecoin community. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, I saw that. It was doing pretty well yesterday, actually. It was doing pretty well, I think. It's got a narrative. It's on Coinbase. But airdrops are not paying like before. I mean, go and get another job then. Yeah. Like, I mean, if you've got $1 to invest in the market, you've got $1. That's it. You know what I mean? It's not going to come from anywhere else. You either go and get a job and work and try and put some money into it, or you go and work for your money. That's the reality there. Nothing comes for free, or it shouldn't do, other than, getting into giveaways. Airdrops aren't as good as they used to be. Some big airdrops, though. I mean, we've had some pretty good airdrops. Yeah, like, I've had some pretty good airdrops, in fairness. But you got to go put the work in. It's not going to come to you for free. XRP Dark Side. Yeah, XRP's been holding up pretty well, actually. 303. Now, critical moment on XRP, by the way. I don't know if you guys can see this chart. Very interesting. The break has happened. Sorry. Break has happened. Retest has happened. If we get some bullish momentum, then guess what? We could absolutely see XRP breakout. Where do we then see the price range? We could be looking at a 365, maybe even a little bit higher. $4 could be on the cards. So, yeah, XRP, in my opinion, starting to look pretty good news. And, yeah, breakout is very much happening right now. So, keep close to XRP. Hey, all, sorry, Malay. Hope you're good. John Shaw, what's going on, buddy? You'll be better putting $1 on black or red at the casino. I mean, that's true. Maybe. I don't know if they do it. The casino I've been to before was like 20 quid you got to do. Beebs with a $5 donation. Thank you so much. Says Tubik, can you take a look at Peak? Thanks. Yes, let's do it. Peak. It's in the game. Let's have a look. Let's bring up the old Charterino and see what is going on. There's bad news for XRP. Swift will use Ethereum network. I thought it was using Linear. I thought that's why everyone went crazy on Linear. Right. I don't think I need to say any more. Yeah, not sure about this one. Not sure about this one. PEA key US dollar on the daily chart. Now, I guess it depends. Everything's subjective, isn't it? If you get in at the bottom here at 7 cents, happy days, you doubled your money. But yeah, doesn't look great, is my opinion. And here's the thing. I mean, I've talked about this before, you know. Is the 2021 coins going to make a big move? You know, I don't know when this launched, by the way, but is it going to make some sort of crazy gains? That's on the monthly chart. Doesn't feel like it. Doesn't feel like it. That's just my opinion, by the way. It is on linear. Okay. Is it? Okay, that's fine. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Man, it's been a slog tonight to get a few people in here on TikTok. I don't know what's happened. Cheers to it. Glad you're well, mate. Yeah, I'm a bit ill, John, but I'm surviving. Do you know what I mean? I'm holding up, I think is the official terminology to use. But yeah, BTC, doing the same as BTC, holding 122.6. So yeah, all fine. If you have any questions, by the way, any thoughts, any coins, any opinions, let me know. 50 votes, 72% of you guys think XRP will be the winner. Interesting. Interesting. How about all the people on TikTok? Here you go. Look, TikTok crew. Oh man, I don't have any coins. Oh, okay. Oh, have I done that? There we go. There you go, TikTok. Grab the. Oh, there it is. Got to press this when the timer runs out. Get yourself a few coins. All right, nothing wrong with that. Head up, pal. Keep plugging up. Yeah, I'm trying, mate. Yeah. What was the deal with Leash and Bone? Well, they were all part of the like Shiba ecosystem, weren't they? So I think was Bone like the governance token, or Leash the governance token, and Bone the reward token. I mean, they brought Treat out. Did that ever do anything? I mean, they really, really, really dropped the bollock with that, didn't they? I mean, I don't even look at Shibarium anymore. I mean, they're still going out there. They use Bone is 14 cents. Man, that was like $1, wasn't it? Treat, I think, was the other one. Shiba Inu Treat is awful. Market cap is just under 1 million. That's how bad that one is. And Leash is at 74 cents. So yeah, they're all pretty crap. I think one of them was governance. One of them was used for like NFTs and stuff. They just really, I mean, we watched it live, didn't we? We watched the launch of Shibarium live and it were like, what is this? Like, actually, what is this? Does anyone talk about, I mean, Zach occasionally puts a video out about Shib. I'm sure Austin does, but yeah. Does it make a difference? I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe it does. Linear is on Ethereum. Well, it's a layer 2 Ethereum, isn't it? So it's like Base, Matic. So it's a layer 2 Ethereum chain, I guess. So, I mean, it's not a surprise. It doesn't mean it won't ever go to XRPL. I think everyone just got like super hyped about the fact it was going to go over there. But yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about Linear, in fairness. I know a couple of people have asked me to have a look at it, but yeah. Rizzo, when I mean, you haven't said anything. Just have a look. Oh, Bull. Okay. What's your prediction for the Bitcoin at the end of the year? Well, I think the cycle still tops out in 2025. So, you know, and I still probably in a world where I think at this moment, everything's playing out as I predicted and I thought it would do. So I'm probably still in a world where I think we'll be on our way down by the end of the year. I guess the question is from where? That's going to be the point. Do we see a top at maybe 160, 165? End of the year, we could be at like 140. Depends how quick we see a dump. I guess if you argue and say the market cycle top, according to me, comes in on the 25th of October, then we sort of see pretty much a dumperino back down to, you know, maybe 120. I don't know. Hard to say by the end of the year. I would just watch October. I mean, November's pretty bullish. December tends to be not that crazy, but we'll see. Remember the person that dies and gave their hand? Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. 400k BTC. Holy crap, Foz. I'm down for that. The trouble is with SHIB and its ecosystem is right. Nobody using and buying Leash and Bone, but its reality is, yeah. The reality is, it's kind of like, why are you going to go and use Shibarium when you can use... And if you ever used Shiba Swap, it was really annoying. If you ever used their staking platform, that was annoying as well. Like, it was just annoying to use. And I think whenever you've got stuff that's annoying, then people tend to not use it. I think the top is when the total market cap hits 10 trillion. Holy shit. I mean, I'm down for it. Cher says, how do you think Bitcoin will perform next week? I think, well, a couple of things that are going to come out next week. I think government closure will be important, whether we get it or not. So we've got a couple of things coming in. So Fed Mirren is speaking on Tuesday. That could be pretty interesting. You've also got Bostic, who we know is super bearish on the market because he's an absolute chopper. That could be interesting as well. You then move into Wednesday, where I believe you've got the minutes for the FOMC come out yet. So that one could give us an indication as to maybe, you know, what it looks like. Thursday, Jerome Powell speaking along with jobless claims if the government's back open. Fed balance sheet could be pretty interesting as that one comes through. And then Friday is pretty much back to normal. Week after, CPI data coming in on the Wednesday could be pretty tasty. We also then get PPI on the Thursday, core PPI as well. And then lots of shit comes down on the Friday, October 17th. So watch out for that. All, by the way, is going to be very dependent on whether the markets are open. The government is open for business or not. Okay, cool. Right, XCL still pumping, by the way. Good news here. Grippy still moving. So yeah, making it happen right now. Is it a good idea to buy XRP? I mean, with $1, I don't know if it's worth it, but if you've got $1, and I can't even believe I'm discussing this, but if you've got $1, you need to be looking super low micro caps and just risk it. I mean, you're risking $1. Like, who the hell cares? Hey, let's have a friendly bet on the price by the end of October. Let's do it. Let's do it in the Discord, though. I don't know what the rules are on TikTok. I don't want to get banned. Price prediction for Avalanche. Look, I'm hoping Avalanche breaks 3 figures pretty soon. It needs to get its finger out and get moving, but hopefully we see it. That'd be good news if you ask me. Hopefully. Yeah, $1 XRP as XRP 10K at the end of the year, you make 3.3K. Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true. All governments around the world couldn't organize. I mean, that is also true as well. I call for 150 by the end of October. I like it. That's kind of in the same place. I don't have a Telegram channel. I do have a Discord, and the link is in the bio, so feel free to join it. Again, though, the premium Discord is where we do all the trade alerts, all the coins, all the rest of it. That's kind of where all that goes, and that's like $8 a month. No, when the XCL airdrop's happening. I think they've already started happening. I'm pretty sure I tracked some wallets, and I believe they've already started to be distributed. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they have been distributed. Like I said, I could be totally wrong. Someone could tell me otherwise, but I think they have been distributed, but I'm not sure. Good. Who are you, man? I mean, I'm the guy that's at the other end of the stream talking about cryptocurrency. Who are you? That's the bigger question, isn't it? 3 weeks to Vegas. Who's coming? John! Man, I want let myself go to Vegas. Haven't had mine yet. Oh, well, okay. Well, that's interesting. Interesting. I thought they would airdrop them pretty soon. Anyway, you could buy 2 XRP for $1 this time last year. I mean, that is also true as well. I mean, when we got in, it was like 35 cents something, so you could technically get 3. Oh, how the gains would have been amazing. $1 to 10. Let's go. Let's go. But yeah, anyway, all fun and games, if you ask me. All fun and games. What time is it? Man, it's 10:05. Like, we're learning cryptocurrency. Well, you come to the right place. I'm not saying I'm an educator, by the way, but I'm not one of these like super weird shill, super choppers. So hit the follow button, join our Discord, whatever you want to do. It's got a great community here. So if you're learning cryptocurrency, welcome in. You are coming in at a reasonably okay time. I still think there's more movement in the market, but yeah. Solomon says, I'm still angry at Hamster Combat. Man, I don't even know what that's doing now. What is that doing? Is that hasn't George launched another coin? Oh, I'm thinking of Karate Combat, aren't I? Hamster Combat. What the hell is Hamster Combat? Am I tripping out here? What is Hamster Combat? Anyone help me? Do you mean Hamster Combat? Or do you mean Karate Combat? Oh, Hamster Combat. There we go. Oh, yeah, that looks awful. 47 million market cap. Hamster Combat. Yeah, I don't know this one. Oh, yeah, that looks dreadful. Yeah, that looks like the old traditional garbage ruggerino. I mean, long enough. All coins eventually look like this, but yeah. The stream elements link for Discord has to be updated. Why does it keep changing? It shouldn't keep changing. Does the Discord keep changing it? What? Invite. I thought your invite link expires in 7 days. I don't want to. Oh, never. There we go. Right. Oh my God. Man, that's super annoying. Does that mean it's all wrong elsewhere? Is that why no one's been joining it? For flipping X's sake. Good evening, sir. Which coins do you think will the new people in crypto to buy? I mean, I would buy big caps. That's my opinion. Right, Jesse. Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter. I was going to say, can you update stuff? But I don't think you can you? Right. I need to update stuff. Man, that's super annoying. That is super annoying, bro. Saved. Do that. Okay, let me edit this. Edit. Discord. There. Save. Right. We are officially getting somewhere. That's kind of annoying. That is kind of annoying. Right. Stream elements. There we go. Bro, come on. What about propping up? Oh, sorry. You had a buy today. I saw that. Sorry, Alvin. There, look. See, it's still in my researched 430k market cap. Let's go, baby. Oh my God, you had a $707 buy. I did not see that one. Nice, bro. Nice. Oh, that was back. I thought you had a buy today. Or maybe I'm just tripping out. Sorry. Yeah, where are you sitting right now? 430k. And Alvin, by the way, did try and stream from the shop. So, yeah, keep your eyes on that because our friend Alvino will be, yeah, he's going to be streaming pretty soon from his workshop. Well, not his workshop, actually. Like his actual shop, which is going to be pretty crazy. So, yeah, exciting times. Right, save that. Okay, so I think I've now updated that. That's fine. That's fine. And I need to update this as well. Triple C's, can we see XLM get past $1? Maybe. I like I like X. I can't speak. I like XLM. Where is the Discord link on here? Free Discord. Oh my God, why has it just done that? There we go. Perfectamundo. Save. All right, cool. I think we're updated everything now. I think I've updated everything. Good news. Right. Should I trade or invest in crypto? Which one is better? I mean, if you don't know how to trade, don't trade. You will literally lose your money. I can almost guarantee it. Yeah, I saw that, Andy, baby. I saw that. I saw that allegedly Trump's kind of gone, yeah, all right, let's make it happen. So, yeah, shout out to him if that's the case. That chai's not looking good at all. Yeah, it looks awful. That is awful. Yeah, who are you two? A bit like, what the hell? Sorry, mate. Let's make a ranch. No, Alvin. I'm not doing it. I have morals. And they are definitely not ranch on a crumpet. Like, get the hell out of here. What do you think about Crep Coin? Is that a real thing? Or are you just like Alvin's, mate? I trade and hold. I wouldn't say I was a trader, but I do occasionally leverage trade, yeah. But I wouldn't say that I'm like a trader. I actually just closed out a Bitcoin long that I'd had from 108. That turned out to be pretty good. I think I opened it live on stream, actually. I think I actually did the trade live on stream. Have you got a prediction for AVAX? VeChain. Not so much VeChain. AVAX, I want to see it break 3 figures. I always sort of said I thought it would maybe get to $200-300, but it needs to start moving right now. Yeah, I mean, Crepe looks okay. Looks like it's got some decent volume, in fairness. It's a bit of a weird chart, though. Pumps, consolidates, pumps, consolidates. Looks like it's got a volume bot running on it as well. I'm just gonna call it how I see it. It looks a little bit manipulated, but Yeah, that's my view. I caught the BTC jump on a 0.3. Nice. Yeah, I don't think it was the biggest trade in the world, but I think I did it live. I think I had a long on XRP and a long on BTC, but I closed that out. I closed it out earlier today. So anyway, right, everybody, keeping me chatting away and talking while time ticks on. I mean, we literally got to 50 people. Where are you guys at 9 o'clock? Come on, I stream a bit earlier. Guys, do you really think BTC could drop to the 70k mark in the bear market? I'm having a hard time seeing it. Absolutely agree with you. No way on this earth does it go to 70k. That's crazy. That's crazy. I do actually have a video, but I don't want to release it to yet. That's going to talk a little bit about when to expect the bear market, how low is it going to go, what does previous market data tell us. But I'm not going to drop it while the market's pumping because I don't think anyone's going to care. But yeah. Anyway, with all of that being said, as always, I appreciate you guys tuning into the channel. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit the like and subscribe button. I will be, I might be on tomorrow, maybe, because I didn't stream at the beginning part of the week. GC, what's going on, pal? I didn't stream at the beginning part of the week. Make sure you're in the Discord, link in the description, and dialed into what's going on. And I will let you know if I'm going to do it or not, because, yeah, maybe, because we didn't do one at the start of the week. Equally, I don't feel particularly brilliant, so I might take the night off, but we'll see. All right, we'll see. Get on 2 bit. Sorry, I didn't make the 9 o'clock. Have a good one. It's all good, John. All good. GC coming in fresh with the gifts as well. Thank you so much, man. Salaman, hey, no dramas. No dramas. If one of my kids said the same thing, life would be good news. But yeah, feel free to hit the follow button. And make sure you're dialed in. We live stream 6 days a week, keeping you dialed in. Also, I put content out every single day here on TikTok and also on YouTube as well. Link in the bio. So until then, thanks so much, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. Maybe back tomorrow. All right, don't miss it. As always, appreciate you guys. And let's have a good Saturday. See you in a bit.